Good morning, Antonio. Good morning, Shadow Hunter. All right, guys, we're going to get started here in about another minute or so. In the meantime, I will be displaying my risk disclosure. Okay, so you can take a look at that. In the meantime, okay, and we'll get started here in about a minute or so. Okay, hopefully, sound check. Hopefully, I'm coming across okay. Everybody can hear me okay. Okay, great. All right. We're already 5 past the bottom of the hour here, so we'll go ahead and get started. I do have the risk disclosure up, and basically, what it amounts to is that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to solicit, to offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, or sponsor any security, company, future instrument, or fund. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more their initial investment. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer to buy, sell, recommend futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, we'll take a look at the news and see what the news has in store for us today. So go ahead and let's see. Allow, sign in. Wow. All right, so here we have the news, and as we all know, today is a bank holiday, guys. Although the markets are open, the bond market is not. Okay, so everything else about the market is intact. The fact that the bond markets are, are not in the market, or the bond traders are not in the market, could potentially impact how the market moves, in the sense that that we don't have the same amount of participants, and that maybe moves, if should they happen, would be potentially met with less resistance. Okay, so the markets have the potential of being a bit more wiki today. All right, volatile, I should say. Okay, so please be aware of that in today's market. Okay, as far as news goes, we have really a light news day. We have 3 members of the Fed speaking today. We have Kashkari, we have Waller, and we have Kashkari again talking twice. So at 9 o'clock we have Kashkari speaking, and at let's see, about 3 o'clock we have Waller speaking, and then this may be this last event here is probably beyond the market for us, so should have little to no impact on us. Okay, all right. So now that we've gotten the news out of the way, let's look at the markets. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up the charts. Okay, I was in the midst of modifying this over to the, so we'll move this. See if I can All right. So now we have the charts up. Now this is this here on the right, guys, is a utility, a higher time frame chart overlay. Okay. As you if you follow me for any extended period of time, you know that I do like to align myself with a higher time frame. Okay. So this overlay that I found, in the past, I would split my screen in two. I'd have the 4 hour and the 15-minute side by side. But I found this utility on TradingView. Okay, it's called a higher time frame chart, and that higher time frame chart. Let's see, right? Where is it? Higher time. Yeah, this one up here, lonesome the here. This one right here, this overlay allows you to modify, what time frame you would like the overlay to be. Okay, so since I'm looking at the 15-minute, what I like to look at is the 4 hour. Okay, again, I'd like to align myself with the general direction of the higher time frame. Okay, like I said in the past, I would split my screen into two, right? Or I have two different windows, one with a 4 hour on the left and one with a 15-minute on the right, or 30-minute on the right, and that's how I would keep track of it. But now this takes a far less amount of space on my screen, and then I can keep track of, am I aligned with a higher time frame? Okay, am I aligned with what the daily is saying? Okay, or doing, right? Okay, so here's a daily chart of the gold here, right? So right now the daily is giving me a little bit of an decisive. Oh, that's proprietary, Dubois. ASR is something that you would need to reach out to me and I can give you access to. That is a custom indicator. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. I just wanted to kind of alert you of that. So if you see this other chart that is not 100% aligned with what you're seeing on the main chart, you know why. Okay. So let's see. Right now, I modified this to the 4 hour chart. I'm expecting this to change here at some point here. All right. So looking at the 4 hour chart, okay. Well, actually, we're going to start off with the daily. All right. And we're just trying to get a feel for what the market is trying to accomplish here. Okay. So let's see. We're going to modify this. We're going to keep it at 4 hour. Okay. Because that's generally how I use it. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and turn off ADR, turn off ASR, and leave this higher time frame view here on the right. Okay. So as you can see here, if we look at this, we're obviously, you can see that we're in a very, very much a bullish market here. We're making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, on the daily. Okay, indicating that we are very much in a bullish trend in the gold market. Okay. Um, I'm looking to the left, and moreover, we really don't have really. We're basically in uncharted territory. Okay, I think I've mentioned in the past that maybe this 2,700 could offer us some resistance here. Okay, that's kind of where we pivoted last here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a supply zone if my charting platform will allow. Okay, this right here, this feels like an area where we could, where price could be resistant. Okay, where it may have some trouble getting above. All right, so I have 2,700 here as an area of resistance. Ideally, if I had and we've already gotten a little bit of a reversal away from it, but this level down here around, let's call it 2615. 2615 seems to be an area of support. And then below that, I would call it, say, 26, 25, 25, 65. Okay, is my other areas of support. Right now, again, if I was trading off of this chart, those would be kind of my levels that I would be looking at. But we don't trade the daily, right? The daily chart is just we don't trade a single candle, right? We trade, we're day traders. So we look at smaller time frame charts here. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so you see that we're kind of zooming in on these candles here a bit. Okay, you can see that we've reacted off the top here, not once but twice. Okay, and we didn't even make it back to that level again. Good morning, Larry. We didn't even make it back to that level again before price reversed away from it again. Okay, so right now, while the market is overall, I would say, still very much bullish, we're starting to see some signs that maybe the market might be looking for at least a little bit, maybe another swing lower here, as part of a larger maybe retracement. Okay. So yeah, it's not out of the question that price could end up down at 2640 before we make another leg higher. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm looking at some of these volume deltas. So volume delta is certainly indicating that there's more sellers than buyers in this market at the moment. We still have yet to get the negative DI cross above the positive DI. And the other thing is that we have kind of a little bit of a waning ADX momentum here. Okay, so really not giving me a whole lot in the, I guess, support of this. So I would be looking for maybe this bottom red line to cross above, and then maybe that gives me some more confidence of this move lower. Okay, I am seeing some evidence here on the volume delta that maybe there is that we could be there's a possibility that we continue lower here. We have a developing bearish candle. Okay. Asia said, yeah, Asia session up. Let's see, Asia session. Let's see where the Asia session is. Yeah, Asia session up. London flat to down, right, Alejandro? Okay, so we'll have to see what the U.S. market holds. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, the 30-minute chart. We'll go ahead and expand this here a bit. Like I said, I like keeping an eye on what the higher time frame is doing, and this little window here allows me to do that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start to open up our levels here. So there's our ADR levels. Okay. So we'll go ahead and populate these levels here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add these levels to the charts. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and double confirm them. Okay, so here we are. We have this is ADR, so we have 2688, not 60 but 50. Okay, sorry, 50. This is also 50. No such thing as let's see. Okay, so here we are. So now the next thing we're going to open up here, we're going to open up ASR. Okay, so we have an ASR level. We have 2695.10 above, 2667, 2 below. Okay, our ASR levels. Okay, that's intact. And then we're going to go ahead and open up our volume profile here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure this is reading the right time frame. So we're going to modify this volume session to include start at 8:30. Okay, instead of 9:30, and the same is true of the initial balance range. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and modify that. Click OK. All right. So let's double check these levels now. We have value area high coming in at 2678.6. Okay, so actually we should have probably left that to what it was before. Oops. just make a little small modification, and then we have 2668.2 is our value area low, and then we have point of control at 2675.2, and then our settlement price is coming in at 2674.2. Okay, so that seems in order. Okay, so we've come down to an area here. Just going to double check to see what level this is. This is London. So we're coming down to a level in London, right? Average session range low that could provide us a potential reversal in price here. Okay, as we start the market here, we're going to go ahead and open up initial balance. Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Let's see this one right here. Okay, so there's our initial balance range. Okay, so we'll be patient and wait for this initial balance range to kind of establish here. So we're very close to value area low here. Okay, we've gotten some reaction away from value area low, and we're also at ASR low. So this could easily provide us an area where price could potentially, I say could potentially reverse from. Okay, but we have a fair amount of sellers. Okay, as a result of London here, okay, in the market. All right, so we're getting some reaction here again away from value area low, but I'm not willing to embrace this long, okay, until I get a break of initial balance in the other direction. So until I get an initial balance to break above this, then I'm not really interested in a long. Okay, so I'm going to remain patient, wait for the initial balance range to establish, and if I do get price to break above this initial balance range, say right now it's 2671.3, but we're another 40 minutes away from this range being established. Okay, so I'm looking at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is telling me that maybe I should be looking more short in this market, given the price candle that's developing. Okay, but I also understand that I'm at a level here that could create a reversal. Okay, now if I do get a break below, well, again, I'd like to see it break below this level, and then what I'd like to do is after it's broken, then I'd like it to hold. All right, and then I would like to participate in a short on a retest of whatever was broken level wise. Okay, so those are kind of my scenarios here right now. I don't know exactly what to necessarily which direction I'm going to expect here, but I'm going to wait for the initial balance range to establish itself, and then let whatever direction price or participants want to take this market, let that happen before I take any sort of execution. Okay. This area down here at 2664, or let's call it 2665. This seems to be a reasonable area of demand as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that as well. This area right here seems like a reasonable area of demand. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. All right. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of the market at the moment, guys. So I'm going to be patient and let price do its thing, okay, for another 40 minutes or so, and then see where we stand with respect to this initial balance. And if price begins to break in one direction or the other, then I'll be ready and able to potentially execute a trade. Okay. Until then, if it stays in this range, well, I'm not as interested, okay, in participating. I really need to see price extend the initial balance range in one direction or the other for me to really participate. So I'm going to be keeping an eye here on what the higher time frame is saying. Higher time frame is saying that maybe there's a possibility that we continue lower. Okay, but I also understand that I'm in some bullish structure. Okay, right. So that's pretty much what I have for gold. Taking a peek here to see if there's any questions on the market. I'm not seeing them. All right. So again, we need to be patient. All right. Let initial balance range establish, and then once the initial balance range is established, let price or the extension of the initial balance kind of dictate the sentiment of the market. and then based on that information, maybe we decide to take an execution. Okay. Right now it feels like it wants to maybe turn around here. Okay. But I'm not here on want. I'm here on some sort of conviction bar. And I don't know about you, but I'm not really interested in trading a bar that's bearish. Okay. Oh, Anchor VWAP. So the only thing that I would maybe say add here, probably at the bottom here, is my Anchor VWAP. So the area that is kind of calling me here is probably the beginning of Asia. All right. So here it is. So we're well below the Anchor VWAP. I don't know what happened to my daily VWAP. There it is. Okay. So we're both below daily and the anchored VWAP that I would draw here. Again, that's also kind of some more evidence that maybe that there might be some additional pressure or price extension to the downside. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for gold. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. Crude oil is next on the list. So, okay, so we'll go ahead and open that up. All right, similar kind of thing. I'd like turning these levels off, getting a feel for what the market is trying to accomplish here. Okay, so we'll turn these off. We'll leave the higher time frame chart there. Okay, looks like we got a gap down. Okay, on the open here. I don't know if that's a result of some sort of rollover in crude oil, but we got a gap down, a gap down, a gap down open. All right, in this market. All right, which kind of leads us to the believe there's some momentum to the downside in this market. Looking at the daily. Okay, so here we are. Daily has been kind of, I guess, of late bullish. Okay, of late bullish. Right. If I look at this, we've been, making some higher highs and higher lows. All right, but this kind of this gap down is also causing me maybe to rethink that. But really, to embrace the shorts, I really need to get below 73.25. Okay. I need to break some structure to the downside. As of yet, I haven't really broken any structure to the downside, right? So 73.25 or 73.30 would be that level. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart, here we are. We have we had a swing high, we had a pullback, but then we weren't able to make a new high. Okay, before we started to fail here. Okay, so we have a swing. This should have been merely a retracement, and then we extend higher. We did extend higher, but we failed again up at let's say 76. Okay, we failed again at 76, and now we've had a series of candles to the downside. Now, this could be just a larger how do you say, triangle pattern here. Okay, we could be in this kind of consolidation in this market, right? Until we decide on what direction we want to take it. Okay, so this is kind of what it's kind of working out to be. All right. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. All right. So 30-minute chart. We'll leave that candle for now. All right. And oops, that's not what I wanted to. I just wanted to expand this a bit, make it a little bit wider. You see these individual candles a little bit strong, a little bit better. Okay. So here we are. We have on the 30-minute, we have our series of candles, our series. We have broken some structure on the 30-minute chart to the downside. Okay, we gapped lower here, headed lower, retraced a little bit, and gapped lower again. And now we have a developing bearish engulfing candle. We're about a minute away from the open of this market. So first thing I'm going to open up here is our ADR. Okay, so this is our ADR. So we're at the very bottom of the range. With ADR has already been broken for the day. So that could be, again, the fact that we were already at the lows, and or so early, okay, in the session or in the day, I should say, even before the New York Open, this could speak for maybe a sustained auction to the downside. Okay. We could very well get a sustained auction to the downside in this market. All right. Let's go ahead and add our levels to this chart here. Okay. So here are levels. Okay. Here are our levels. We're just going to double confirm our average daily range high is 76.55. That is that we have. We have average daily range low is 73.56. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and open up ASR here. All right. We have 73.33. So we'll just modify this lower number here a little bit. All right. 73.33. Okay. And then the average session range high is 75.66. 75.66. Okay. All right. Here we are. Okay. And then the last thing we need to add here is our value ranges. So I'm going to double confirm to make sure that we're looking at the right ranges. So we're going to modify this to 9 o'clock. Okay. And then this is going to modify as well. We're going to say 9 to 10. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're going to double confirm our value area high settlement prices here. So we have 75.49 is our settlement. We have 75.66. Well, no. 75.64 is our value area high. We have value area low at 75.22. Point of control at 75.50. So this is all seems to be in order here. Okay. So like I said, if we do not manage to hold here, okay, right? If we do not manage to hold here and we begin to break some of these levels below us, then we could very well be in a sustained auction to the downside. We're starting to see some evidence here that maybe we're creating a little bit of a demand zone here. We have already started the market. So we'll go ahead and open up the initial balance range here. We'll open that up. Okay, so there's the initial balance range. We have a volume delta. It looks like we had a slew of buy orders at these levels. We still don't have the positive DI above the negative DI at this point. So we'll have to be, I guess, patient when it comes to the longs. I guess similar kind of view that we've discussed, right, is that if we get an extension to the upside, then I want to be the guy who, trades off the high of initial balance. If I get an extension to the downside, then again, I want to be the guy that trades off of the initial balance low. Okay. That's kind of what I'm looking at in this market. All right. Now, as far as anchored VWAP, where would I draw it? Generally, I like drawing my anchored VWAPs in areas where I do see pivots. So if I look at this right now, I like this area right here on Friday. Seems like a reasonable area for an anchored VWAP. Okay. And then let's open up the daily VWAP. Okay. So that's a little bit lower. So again, price is below VWAP. Okay. We're inside, I would say, bearish structure to the downside. If we do manage to get above this daily VWAP, then that could be, an opportunity where we may maybe take price back to anchor VWAP, something along those lines, maybe back to the highs of London. All right. That seems to be, kind of like what London was able to do to the downside. US will take it back to wherever London originated. Okay. It's moved to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. But again, like anything else, guys, I'm waiting for this initial balance range to establish before I'm willing to take on any sort of execution in this market. All right. Right now, if I had my view, then I'm gonna look to see if this daily VWAP is going to hold. And if it is going to hold, that maybe it provides me an opportunity. But I'm a little skeptical, given that we did get a bearish engulfing candle that should have created an extension to the downside. On the other hand, it caused buyers to kind of step into the market, right? With this development of this bullish candle. So we may be in potentially in a bullish move in this market, but I need to see price get above initial balance as well as get above daily VWAP. Okay. All right. So before we move on to the equities, just want to encourage. I see we have about 23 participants in the review here, but only about 15 likes. So I would encourage, before we move on to the equities, I'd encourage folks to kind of hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, you can hit and make yourself a subscriber as well. Again, encourage me to continue to wake up every morning to provide this analysis for you prior to the market opening. Okay. And then the other thing is, as you see these posts around in social media, don't be afraid to post, some sort of message indicating the how you've benefited from the analysis. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and start with the NQ as our equity market. I did get a little blip of interest here, so we'll use that as an indication. So we'll go ahead and move on. All right. So the Nasdaq is looks like is heading higher. Okay. Looking at the daily chart, we have. I'm going to turn this off here for a second. We'll leave uh, the higher time frame chart up. Okay, this might maybe look over here on. Let's change this higher time frame to the weekly. All right, so weekly chart just to get a feel for what direction is. Okay, so you can see here that the Nasdaq seems to be in a bullish move. Okay, we've broken some structure here, right? We've broken some structure here, right? Here and here, right? And we're starting to see kind of higher highs and higher lows. We start out the day again also bullish. The volume delta is aligned. Okay, we got more buyers than sellers. The ADX indicator is indicating that there is some fair amount of momentum to the upside. Okay, we have our positive indicator above the negative indicator with our momentum indicator close to, if not at 20. 20 is kind of a line in the sand as far as strength. Okay. So daily looks quite bullish. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart is also, we'll move this down to, we'll move this chart now to higher time frame outlook to 4 hours. Okay. Because that's what I generally use it for, is the 4 hours, because I like to keep track of what the 4 hours is doing. Okay. So we have a series of candles, 3 candles, bullish. We've broken some structure to the upside. We have the volume delta is increased is increasing. All right. We have, which I like to see, right? We have one volume bar is higher than the other. So, and then we have our positive indicator above. Our ADX momentum indicator hasn't really curled, but it's starting to, okay, to the upside. Okay. So everything is indicating that maybe there's some further upside momentum left in this move. Okay. In particular, I'm quite keen in seeing that we do have an increase in volume, right? So there's as price is going up, there's more and more interest in people participating in this market. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're going to go ahead and widen this out here. We're going to leave the 4-hour overlay here because I like to keep tabs on whether I'm in the same direction as the higher time frame. You can see here that our on the 30-minute chart, our ADX is pretty strong to the upside. We have our positive indicator. Here London seems to be very keen on the equity market here. We got a very strong indication to the upside here. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our ADR levels, and then we'll go ahead and add our levels here in general for this market. All right. So we're going to add this here. Okay, see here are our levels. We have ADR high coming in at 576.25. We have ADR low coming in at 291. Okay, that's close enough. ASR coming in at this might need some adjustment here. We got 586.75. Yes, 20,042, 342. That's also in order. We're going to go ahead and open up our value ranges. We'll double check to make sure. But chances are this is not set to the right time. So we're going to go ahead and modify that. We're going to start this at 9:30, not 9:20, but 9:30. And then this initial balance range is from 9:30 to 10:30. Okay. All right. We'll just kind of double check our value ranges. We have 20,477, which is what we have here. And then value area low coming in at 416, which is what we have here. Right. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, the fact is that price is above value. Okay. And we see that that there's a fair amount of momentum to the upside. Okay. We have our volume delta bar. Okay. Still showing positive. Okay. We are coming into an area where we could see, some resistance in this move, right? We have this average daily range high as well as our average session range high. So this area right here could provide maybe a little bit of resistance in this market. But the current market is quite strong to the upside. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up our daily VWAP. We're well above that. We're going to go ahead and open up our anchor VWAP. Okay, anchor VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and use the lows. Actually, start of Asia. Looks like both Asia and right. So we have both the daily and the anchored VWAP, letting us know that there's maybe some further upside in this market. The only thing that maybe is causing me a little bit of hesitation here is the fact that we are coming up on ADR and ASR rather rapidly. Okay, so yeah, we'll wait to see what the initial balance range does. That'll open up here in about 15 or 18 minutes, and then let the initial balance range define. We have the 4R also indicating that there's a fair amount of strength. Price is developing a 4R candle that's quite strong to the upside as well. Okay, so right now I'd have to say that that the market is bullish, and that we need to find locations to participate to the bullish side. Okay. Well, where would a location like that be? Well, initial balance is not open yet, so I have a very important level. I would say that right now the most recent area of interest for me would probably be around 20,520. Okay, that would be an area where we can maybe, if we can get some little pullback down to that level, that would be an area maybe for a potential execution to the upside. Okay. Again, I'm not really interested in participating in retail pricing, right? I don't want to buy at the highs of the highs. I want the price to come back down to a level where I can manage my risk. I see that this area here was resistant. What was resistant becomes supportive. Okay. So that would be a scenario that I would maybe be open for an execution to the upside. As far as shorts go, well, I need to look and see. I do see that we have ADR and ASR above me. Those levels could also offer me maybe an area to fade. Okay, this market. All right. If fade is dangerous given the strength of this momentum indicator. Okay, there's a fair amount of strength in this move to the upside. Okay. So those are probably the main scenario for me is to figure out ways to participate to the long side. Now, could I take a trade that maybe takes me back down to VWAP or maybe back down to value area high? Absolutely. Okay. But we also understand that there is a fair amount of momentum to the upside in this market. Okay. All right. That's what I have for the Nasdaq. We'll go ahead and move on. If there's no questions, we'll move on to the ES here. Okay. Again, we'll start with the daily. Okay. So we got a nice reversal here, but let's talk daily first, and we'll come back. All right. So daily chart is quite strong again to the upside. You're welcome, Frizu. All right. So daily is very much moving to the upside. We are very much in a bullish market. We're making higher highs and higher lows. This almost feels even a bit stronger than what we were seeing on the Nasdaq side. Our volume indicator is telling us that there's more buyers than sellers. Our ADX indicator is saying that we have growing momentum to the upside. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, okay, again, we're looking, kind of drilling into these candles. We have a series of bullish candles here. We've left this area, say 58.40, let's say 58.45 as an area. We have another area, a little range of consolidation here at 58.60. Okay, so that would be kind of the next logical area for me, maybe to participate to the long side. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, so we're above our daily VWAP. We're going to go ahead and add our ADR levels. We're rapidly approaching those. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR. Okay, again, we have a couple of levels that could potentially cause reversal in price. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, here are our levels that I will be tracking throughout the day. Okay, so let's see. All right, there it is. All right, so okay, so we'll just spot check these. We have 58, 82, 50. We have 58.85 as our ASR. We have 58.42 as our ASR low. And then we have, what was this? ADR low at 58.26. That all seems to be in order. We'll go ahead and open up our value ranges. We have 58.65 as our value area high. And then we have, let's see, value area low at 58.59. That seems to be, let's see, 58.59. That's point of control. Point of control is 58.59. And then we have settlement here at 58.53. Okay. And then value area low coming in at 58.52.75. Okay. So that all seems in order here, guys. So again, the market seems to be quite bullish. All right. We are about 10 minutes away or 12 minutes away from this market opening. I do see that this level up here could offer me maybe a relatively nice opportunity to go opposite. Okay. Fade potentially. Okay. It's an average daily range of the market. Okay. But I'm just not going to blindly put a sell order here. No worries, Larry. Okay. I'm not just going to blindly put a sell order here. I need to see some sort of candle formations that would indicate to me that maybe there is maybe a little bit of reversal. And honestly, I wouldn't how do we say, marry necessarily the short there. That would probably be something where I would look for price to maybe come back to say an anchor VWAP, something along those kind of lines. So let me see here where I would even begin to draw this. Maybe down here. Okay, so this area down here is supportive. Okay, so if I do get a pullback of any sort, right now I would say that the pullback would be something down to daily, maybe down to this anchor VWAP is kind of as kind of my target. Okay, because the more we get extended away from VWAP, the greater the how we say the pullback or the draw is going to be to come back to VWAP at some point during the session. Okay. But yes, the market very much bullish. All right. And then again, that anchor VWAP or daily VWAP could offer me an opportunity for an execution to the upside if, say, initial balance range does not. Okay. All right. I think that's all I want to say. The only thing I did draw my anchor VWAP already, I believe. No, did not. This question is, where do I want to draw this? Okay, somewhere in that range, I guess. It's right underneath. It's right underneath the value area low. Okay. All right. So last market I want to take a look at is the Dow. Okay, and we'll go ahead and open up the Dow. All right. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so here's the Dow. So again, we'll kind of forego the 4 hour. We have the 4 hour here listed here on the right. So that'll give us some visibility here. We're just going to take a look and see what the 30-minute is trying to accomplish here. We'll capture some of our levels. So again, we're inside value. Okay, so this is probably the weakest of the three. The other two markets were above value from Friday, so that's maybe a feather in the cap for the for both the ES and the Nasdaq with respect to bullish behavior. Okay, the Dow seems to be the weakest of the three. Okay, so we're inside value here. So let's go ahead and capture some of these levels. So we have what is this? We have 43.320. Okay, is our average. Okay, so average daily range high. Okay, we have 43.331. That's our average session range high. Okay. Oh, okay. And then let's see. We're gonna go ahead and open up the we already did. Okay, so we have oh shoot. Did I just lose it? I did. Great. Okay, let's do this again. Looks like I lost my little text window here. So we got 43. What was that? 43.323 average daily range high. We have 43.331 as our average session range high. Okay, we have 43.104 as settlement. We have 43.156 as our value area high from Friday. Okay, then we have point of control at what's that? 43.036 looks like 43.036 is our point of control, and then we have let's see, our average is at 43. What is that down here? That is 42,900. 42,900 is our average daily range high. And then we have 43,006 as our average session range low. And then really the only thing that remains is our value area low. Value area low is at 42,978. 42,978. Settlement, you're saying, is at 43,143. Let's see. Yeah, I have a different value for that on both my indicators. So I have 43,104. But you're saying, and that's Sergey, is that a CME number? Is that a CME number? Are you pulling that from CME? Oh, from an indicator? Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting 104. You see that? You see here I have 104. You see on my own custom indicator, I'm getting 104 as well. Okay. And I am using the Z contract, which I believe is the correct contract. So I don't know exactly what's causing that to happen, if there's a difference. So I would probably confirm with this with the CME and see what was our settlement price on for Friday. Okay. All right. So yeah. So guys, so this market of all three of the markets seem to be the weakest of the markets. Maybe you can consider this maybe the laggard of the three. So this could be maybe an opportunity if we do, maybe the Dow will eventually follow suit here. We're going to get the open of the session here in about 5 minutes. First order of business for me to really embrace the longs is to really get above daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and find my anchored VWAP here. So let's locate that. Friday. Let's do that. Okay, so if we get above anchored VWAP and daily VWAP, maybe there is some further upside in this market. Okay, but I still need to get above value area high, and if I do that, so this might be a good, I guess, lagging market. Okay, the other two markets are far stronger. This could be an opportunity where we can kind of let the Nasdaq and the ES kind of lead us to maybe something that could be follow in the Dow. All right. But first order of business for me is, again, we need to wait for this initial balance range, which will open up here in about 4 minutes. We wait for the first hour, see what that has in store for us, and then we can decide from there, because we are seeing some volume to the buy side. We are seeing our positive indicator looks like it wants to challenge to get above this negative indicator, which again is another bullish indication. All right. Our 4-hour really is not telling us much. A lot of indecision on our 4-hour on exactly what direction to take the market. So, okay. So that's pretty much what I have today, guys, for the session. I don't have anything else to add. I'm happy to take on any questions if you have them. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and close off the session. Again, reminding everyone that we don't quite have the market with all market participants. We don't have the banks. Again, it's a bank holiday, even though the markets are open. So a lot of the bond traders are, I know the bond traders are not in the market right now. So that could, again, um, may provide or may cause the market not to sustain moves that would otherwise be sustainable, okay, because of lack of market participation. All right. Okay. So with that, guys, you're welcome, Sapadia. You're welcome, Sergey. Okay. So we'll call it a session. And like I said, I will pop into the Discord channel here and during in Coach's Ray's room and see what opportunities come up there. And then we will have you're welcome, Antha Will. We will have our group coaching session later this afternoon at 6 p.m. Central Time, also available through the Top Step Discord server. And again, guys, so trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader, guys. Okay, have a wonderful day. Be careful. Okay, manage things tightly. Okay, because markets may or may not move as anticipated for lack of participation or lack of participants. Okay, all right, guys. Have a good day. Have a profitable day, and I'll see you guys soon. Coach Wazam. That's the first time I've been called Wazam. All right, guys. Have a good day.